This is Wicked. As we just talked about, they are trying to bring this back. They are trying to make it stick, and it is sticking. It's doing very well. It's off of the massive hit Broadway play that came out.
Oh, yeah.
So how can it? I mean, it was almost set in stone that this was going to make money, I feel like.
Absolutely.
I want to dive right into it, though. How was your experience watching it? And what was Wicked all about?
Well, Tom, very sneaky what they did here with the name, which was even hidden from some of the release tracking websites we use. But an important bait and switch to note, because while I thought the movie was pretty good, Wicked Part 1 was just way too long. There was some serious issue of fat to trim on this, and I feel like there are many qualities that in this film while you're watching almost click in your head and say, oh, no wonder this is so successful. And we'll get into those in a second. But there's something here that's just like, it did not need to be a two-parter, and it is way too long on its own. Over the course of the podcast, I have covered two types of musical, mostly. One being the Fred Astaire type of films, something that I hope to evolve for this coming February for more kind of golden age musicals with different cast members. And two, modern Broadway-style musicals, where I have flung this Broadway bland criticism at their music. Talking Spirited, Wonka, Mean Girls, stuff like that. Where the music is just not been clicking for me, and that's completely separate from like I like this song, I don't like this song.
Yeah.
It's just like there's something not clicking there. Unlike those, however, I knew before I saw this movie and drilled into my head of the 2 months of nonstop PR in between that the
2 months, 6 months.
Yeah, for real. That the music in this would be at a higher caliber simply because of the success of the Broadway show. As the second highest grossing show of all time, Wicked has something these other Broadway adaptations, these flips, don't have, and it is popular. Don't worry, I'm not gonna sing the song. I considered it for a little bit, and then I tested singing. I was like, nah, that's not gonna work. And that comes from the quality of the music. I also think this could have made for an alternate reality episode, or even the eventual, episode when we do Wicked Part 2, where we just cover big Broadway musical adaptations like Les Mis, Mamma Mia, maybe that horrific Cats movie from a few years back.
Yeah, I think I'm busy that day that we're recording.
You don't want to see Cats? You want to see James Corden? Wicked, in the long line of adaptations of the story, reimagines The Wizard of Oz as a prequel story, explaining the background of the Wicked Witch of the West to show how things might not be as Dorothy sees them originally. We experience this in one big flashback through Galinda the Good, recalling her friendship on the rocks with the now dead witch. We see the Wicked Witch long before she was known as one, when she was just Elphaba, a quiet loner trying to stay out of the way. Unlike the many charlatans of the lands of Oz, Elphaba has something real, and her power will offer her great opportunities even if they lead down a dark road. For most of the film, we see the two grow from rivals to friends in a wizarding school filled with big personalities and try not to get lost in the social game of first impressions. In a world run by delusion, popularity, and facade, Elphaba's real magical powers is what makes her stand out most, and maybe for the first time before everyone's eyes defy gravity. After seeing this, I think it is just no mystery why this was so extremely successful over the holiday weekend. The first half of the film works exactly how Harry Potter does, kind of transporting you into the world of magic. If you will, the Wizarding World of Oz has never been better explained, showing through, classroom-style scenes of how this setting works while simultaneously kind of giving us defining moments with our characters. This is also where I think it did work the best because, I don't know, the little insights that we get into Oz aren't tied to nostalgia grabs. Like, there's this ongoing theme of persecution of talking animals, that these talking animals are losing their ability to speak, and there's something there that's just like, this feels original in a good way, and not in the tacky ways that we'll see in a little bit.
Point of question on the world. Are we in tandem? Are we in the world of Oz?
Yeah.
Are we okay. So it's almost like
there's no real world. We're always in.
We're always
Oz.
in here. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's almost like we're getting the urban look at Oz when everything we had up till now was kind of the
farmland.
Yeah, suburban. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
I don't.
Or rural Oz. The yellow brick road. There's always you're just in fields.
Yeah. I can't say I know where this wizarding school is in like the geography of Oz, but
somewhere in those green.
You're in the
buildings,
society more. You're in the the upper class of it,
which I think works. And I probably Harry Potter is the closest idea behind it, which I think it really hit with the kids.
Yeah,
like,
and that's where I was watching this. I was like, no wonder this has been so successful.
And also, why was this not made just like 2 years after the conclusion of Wicked on Broadway?
That
was so electric.
Absolutely.
They actually waited a decent amount.
Yeah, I think that's a good question as well. I really don't know the movements of like when's the right time with that Broadway flip, but yeah, I think that's a good point. This whole section of the story though worked for the most part, and even though Harry Potter necessarily isn't my bag, I can recognize of like how it's taking these building pieces and giving us dives into the world, giving us character defining moments, all of that. It's also when our two leads work best because it is truly about their relationship and not trying to get into a larger story. On that note, let's talk about performances. I knew Ariana Grande would obviously belt it singing in this, but what really surprised me were her comedic chops. She did a half-decent Judy Garland on SNL a few years back.
Her impressions are good.
Yeah,
her impressions are very good.
And it's specifically that Judy Garland impression is just like, all right, this was probably in the making for some time because she really killed it. It's a dumb sketch of SNL, but it's like she's playing Judy Garland in like a knockoff like sci-fi, and she says like, but death, that's forever. It's just like, yeah, that feels exactly
that's
like
really funny.
The delusion.
I actually like it. She does great Jennifer Lawrence on SNL.
Oh yeah.
I have learned to unappreciate her singing.
No, unappreciate.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with her.
Reverse.
Yeah.
Would you elaborate? You want to elaborate?
I think I brought this up weeks ago, but there is a whininess in the back of her throat that comes out.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So I can't even
like Britney Spears, which she does a good impersonation of.
Yeah. Yes, but there's something where it's in every song. It's just how she sings.
Sure.
This whininess comes out, and at first I really liked her. The more I listened to her, the more I couldn't stop hearing that. So that's all.
So that's where you're at with it.
That's where I'm at.
As far as the character, I really like Glinda being shown as this like passive aggressive mean girl, and she comes off as like just effortlessly funny in this like Legally Blonde kind of category of comedy.
Right. You had the little we talked about it. You had said Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Which is probably spot on.
Yeah.
Harry Potter Mean Girls.
Absolutely, and it's definitely the game of popularity and whatnot.
Yeah.
It just really worked. It surprised me in a big way. Cynthia Erivo, on the other hand, has big shoes to fill coming off of the Broadway expectations of this role, and again, I think she just kills it here. What was impressive to me was the chemistry of both of these on screen. It was in the non-singing moments that these two work so well. And it's unfortunately that relationship, that even like just what works, what doesn't in the film. The doesn't side is when we just get more and more stuff around like Oz and like understanding more about like the nostalgia grabs, the little inclusions to be like, oh, you were watching Wizard of Oz.
Easter eggs.
Remember this?
You hate that crap.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm starting to think that you might not be an Oz fan.
No, I think I am.
Oz the character, I mean.
Oh no, definitely not a fan of Oz. Charlatan, snake oil salesman. Not a fan of him.
Nothing about the original you had to say about it because not in that much. But then Franco, not a fan of.
Oh, definitely not.
I had no interest with him. I don't know.
Oz hater, for sure. I would say anytime a musical gets made into a movie, I always kind of wonder if the original performers are salty about it. But there is a cute addition of Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth that ties it in together nicely.
They did the play. Those are people in the play?
Yes, those are the two leads. Also, Idina Menzel.
On Broadway.
Is, yeah. Idea Menzel is, you have that John Travolta mix-up. It was at the Oscars, and he just like totally butchered her name
That's
on
hilarious.
live TV.
That's funny.
Classic.
Real quick about our main two here, Cynthia and Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
Did they look and feel like actors, or did they look and feel like drama kids on stage?
Definitely actors, and
Okay.
maybe I would have said otherwise if it was the real life Broadway people. And I can also say this because other actors in this feel like Broadway kids.
I get maybe theater kids. You can call them. Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause there is a difference.
Yeah,
there is.
Absolutely. There's
It's two different acting styles.
Yeah, and you feel it actually in some supporting characters in that way, which, too much to get into, but yeah. I would say, though, even though one of these areas, I have praise for the performance and the comedy and like what's working in this. There's still just like so much fat to trim on this story.
It's 2:40.
It's
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Long.
So that's over 3 hours if you're sitting at the theater with the commercials with the
the intros.
yeah.
The trailers.
With the
Movie
podcast we got here.
you know.
But yeah, you're sitting there for over 3 hours. I mean, 2:40, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's part one is, to be honest, I didn't know that until last week. It's kind of why I didn't make.
It was a hardcore bait and switch.
Yeah, it's kind of why I didn't make the extra effort to go and see it, knowing that somehow this is going to be inconclusive or fall flat.
Sure.
And like string me along and not get a decent enough ending.
Yeah.
And that's when I was just like, I'll go see 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, really, the runtime had me thinking of a previous comment I made like earlier in podcast episodes of just like it's maybe not like an issue, but I feel like it dilutes what works in the film because it's surrounded by stuff that maybe isn't not working, but it's just so whatever that I don't care about it. It's really my main issue with this, though. The runtime being far too long, and you could just see how this did not need to be broken up into 2 parts. I think it's shown in how the music is layered in the runtime. For many long stretches, there will be just nonstop music, sometimes really, coming in 3 to 5 song bursts of weaving them together. Cool.
It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. If you're not into musicals, it's a lot. I'm looking at you. But there's something there. It's just like they come in bursts. Honestly, though, by grouping these songs together, you then get long stretches of no music and more kind of dramatic story beats that are just way too long-winded. I feel like the scenes that just didn't work were also the most ridiculous to play out for how long they go on for. A good example of this is there's a school dance scene you see in the trailer that Glinda tricks Elphaba into wearing like a witch outfit. It's just such a simple scene of social acceptance, like that story beat, that it could have just been done like so much quicker. Elphaba shows up in an all-black dress, and just the scene just slowly turns into an interpretive dance scene, and it's just pulling teeth. Like, too much, way too much. The second half is also peppered with just a lot of those nostalgia grabs that felt just totally unnecessary. The fact that we have to sit through a scene where the wizard built a whole diorama to test what color the brick road should be is further proof that this should have been slimmed way down. I mean, like, yeah, that really is the ultimate scene of just like, oh, okay, I get it. And he has like a button and it goes through like red, and they're like, not red. And blue, not blue. And it's like yellow. And they skip by it. It's like, oh, no, we're going to get back. Just kill me now. I didn't think it was bad, however. I know I'm kind of knives out on all these films in a lot of ways, but it's just a bit long-winded in the way it pans out, the way it just shows how it just did not need to be broken up at all, Between tracks like Popular and Defying Gravity, I think this is absolutely worth the watch to see 2 lead actresses give great singing performances, and again, the music itself just having an advantage of just being at such a higher caliber than what you get in, a Netflix pumped out musical or something like that. But even though I would I would say I would even argue for a rewatch for those unexpected comedy chops in both that the both of them have. I cannot say I am excited for part 2 at all, in the least, folks, because I just don't know how much further you can stretch the story. I guess
We're going to find out next year.
Yeah, we're going to find out next year. We're going to go ahead and give Wicked Part 1 a 70 on the dot.
70%. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah,
I think
this is a pretty good score.
I think I was definitely not pleased with some parts of it to like tamper expectations, but
I was not expecting this at all.
there was a lot here that worked. And again, surprising elements.
And
like
they
the
bashed
comedy.
you over the head for the past 6 months.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
You should just hate it out of spite
Right.
for the marketing campaign.
So true.
70%. I mean, my God, Vin, that is an above good movie.
Yeah, I think it's worth a little bit of the hype. Maybe not. All the way the hype. But.
Really, really surprising. 70%. I'm surprised by a lot of these scores.